I was there taping my part for the therapist. You remember what you said to me? You said, when I was here, you were here the first time, you thought that I was going to figure out that you were gay and then wouldn't like you.
Right. I was scared to death if you knew I was gay that you wouldn't like me, because I liked you so much and I wanted you to like me. And I thought, I saw a show once where you were asking someone about being with another woman, and what do you guys, you were asking these questions, and I thought,
well, there would be rituals in which babies would be sacrificed, and you would have to,
Whose babies?
There were people who bred babies in our family. No one would know about it. A lot of people were overweight, so you couldn't tell if they were pregnant or not, or they would supposedly go away for a while and then come back.
Anyway, so you witnessed the sacrifice?
Right. When I was very young, I was forced to participate in that, in which I had to sacrifice an infant.
And the purpose of sacrifice is to what? Is to bring you what? What are you sacrificing for?
For power.
So it's official. Oprah has had a falling out with Ellen DeGeneres, and it's all coming after Ellen decided to change her look and run to a different country. After the fallout from Twitch's mysterious death, her employees exposing her, and her being an active Diddy partygoer. And trust, it's only getting worse from her. It is being said that her crimes run deeper than just that. From allegedly knowing stuff about that island, to betraying her dead girlfriend Anne Heche, to being a serious muncher. It's safe to say, Ellen is going through it. And Oprah has officially shut her out, in spite of Ellen trying to reach out to her. And it is being reported that Oprah has finally seen what a horrible person Ellen was for her own experiences. Oprah herself isn't so clean either. So if she's out here throwing these allegations at Ellen, then she more than likely knows exactly what she's saying. In fact, Oprah has also been linked to other shady people in the industry, including Epstein, Weinstein, Diddy, and the infamous spiritual healer John of God, who was sentenced to 100 years. But at least she has been open about it and faced it. Okay, so as most of y'all know, Oprah has had a lot of allegations thrown at her. And even though most of them sound crazy when you first hear them, there are still receipts that prove that people didn't just make them up. One of those receipts is her name getting mentioned in the first batch of Epstein files that got released some years ago. And the worst part is that when she was called out for this, she actually doubled down on her actions by publicly supporting these PDF files.
I'm trying to say this to my friends who had children. You're 7 years old and someone is stroking. It feels good. Even though you don't have a name for what that is, it feels good. And when I first said this years ago, people were like, you're crazy, because everybody wants to believe it's like sexual, you're being thrown up against the wall and you're being. And I have said for years, if the abuser is any good, you won't even know it's happened. You will be in it and you won't even know it's happened. And if the abuser is any good, he or she is going to make you feel like you're a part of it. I mean, and nothing is more being a part of it than what we discussed earlier.
But then again, she has been very open about the mistakes she has made. When a former guest of her show, John of God, the infamous spiritual healer, was convicted, when about 600 women came out to accuse him of doing inappropriate things to them during his supposed healing sessions, Oprah apologized, saying she had no idea what he was up to when she gave him a platform. He was finally sentenced to 489 years in prison in September 2023. And even though Oprah has since deleted all footage of her with him, people were able to get some clips, and they've been resurfacing them.
Why does Oprah have a relationship with a man who owned baby farms? The man I'm talking about in particular is John of God. John of God claimed to miraculously heal people, was later revealed to have been running a sex slave farm and sold babies of this farm. This story is literally so insane. Him and Oprah were very close. Oprah even went down to Brazil to see him and film a segment for him. Bill Clinton, Paul Simon, Naomi Campbell are all his clients. Now, the Brazilian government claimed that he committed some of the worst crimes in the country's history. Brazilian activist Sabrina Bittencourt investigated him and led him to get arrested. She claimed her investigations proved that he ran a baby operation where children were farmed in Brazil before being sold to childless couples around the world. She even claimed that young girls were being held captive in remote farms where they were forced to get pregnant, and then they would get 10 years of supplying children. Sabrina Bittencourt mysteriously.
Now, aside from Oprah associating herself with shady people, others have accused her of being a gatekeeper. And remember when Cat Williams called Oprah the industry gatekeeper? Well, it turns out he wasn't just talking about her gatekeeping and controlling black celebrities. These white celebrities were also part of it, and it looks like Ellen might have stepped on her toes recently. In fact, a lot of people don't know this, but for the longest time, Ellen was trying so hard to get Oprah's validation. And people believe that her desperation to get Oprah to line her up may have led her to do some dark things in the industry, in hopes that Oprah would finally see her and respect her.
I was there taping my part for The Therapist. You remember what you said to me? You said, when I was here, you were here the first time, you thought that I was going to figure out that you were gay and then wouldn't like you.
Right. I was scared to death if you knew I was gay that you wouldn't like me, because I liked you so much and I wanted you to like me. And I thought, I saw a show once where you were asking someone about being with another woman, and now what do you guys, you were asking these questions, and I thought, God, she doesn't.
What are you guys swinging from the chandeliers?
Some kind of question like that. It was just.
Ellen has also been accused of some crazy things amidst the Epstein files being released. It got so bad that she bought a house in the UK and ran off there and changed her hair color to lay low because she was scared that she was going to get arrested. The allegations that were being thrown at Ellen went as far as her allegedly being a muncher and hiding the details about her DJ Twitch's death. But then again, these are just speculation at this point, but people have been on her neck. For example, one person said on Twitter, her name is Ellen DeGeneres, and in the Epstein documents, she is described as the most prolific C-ball in Hollywood. She must be arrested.
Has been blown wide open. And at the rotten heart of it for years, according to Epstein files investigators, Ellen DeGeneres, the daytime TV queen who smiled into America's living rooms while allegedly orchestrating horrors in the shadows. They called it conspiracy, they called it rumor. But nightmares like this don't disappear. They get buried.
Oh, but it gets even worse from here. Ellen was also accused of being behind the death of her ex-girlfriend, Anne Heche. Anne tragically died in a car crash right around the time she began exposing Ellen and all the horrible people in Hollywood. And people are convinced she was taken out to silence her for good. For example, during a 2021 episode of her podcast, Better Together with Anne, she revealed some never-before-heard information about why she broke up with Ellen, even after they both put their careers on the line back in the 90s to come out as a lesbian couple. I broke up with her because her goal was to have a lot of money. Mine was to find love, and hers was, I want $60 billion. Good luck. Our forks are never going to meet. The further we stay on with this, the further we will be apart. Well, it turns out that even before Anne's death, Ellen had allegedly attempted to throw her in a mental facility, despite her not having any issues that required her to be there. Now, the question everyone is asking is, what exactly did Anne know about Ellen that was so bad to push Ellen to do this? What exactly is Ellen hiding?
That I spoke, I was hit more, buried more, or despised more, and then had calculated visions and circulations of systems that spun me up and out of the system that would in any way challenge the fact that she was not telling her own truth but another's. Why do you think she tried to put me in an institution, folks? I called my mother. Guess what? 2 people who wanted more than anything to have my truth buried. It was not my timing. I did not and could not ask God for what that would be. All I could do was stay on my truth, do what I was doing, and study this thing called love that we tried to bury. And now I am up and out of the ground. And unfortunately, those 2 women could not shut me down.
Anyway, just a few months after Anne began revealing all these things, and she was involved in a fatal car crash that left her with serious second-degree burns. According to reports, she was trapped inside the burning car for at least 30 minutes, screaming and inhaling a ton of smoke. Not too long after getting to the hospital, she died. And according to her autopsy, her cause of death was smoke inhalation, burns, and a broken sternum. The hospital admission blood showed the presence of benzoyl ecgonine, the inactive metabolite of nose candy, which means she used it in the past, but not at the time of the crash. And while we're on the topic of Ellen's hidden crimes being exposed, we cannot forget about that scandal she was involved in back in 2020, when she was accused of putting her staff through hell. But what if I tell you that was actually the least problematic thing in that entire incident? Apparently, she was also aware that some of the executive producers of the show were SAing some staff members and did nothing to stop it from happening. Kevin Lehman, the head writer and executive producer, was accused of making inappropriate comments to staff, like asking some of the gay staff if they were top or bottom, pointing out bulges, touching a production assistant in a car and kissing his neck, asking for a hand job or oral at a party, and grabbing a PA's private area. There was also another executive producer called Ed Glavin, who was accused of inappropriate touching, rubbing the staff's shoulders and back without consent, leading with fear and intimidation, and using tactics like remotely shutting his office door. And let's not even get into the mystery surrounding Twitch's death. Some say he was blackmailed, some say he saw something he shouldn't have, but unfortunately, we would never know what really happened. And allegedly behind the scenes, Oprah Winfrey has drawn a hard line and reportedly cut off communication entirely, choosing distance over damage control. And looking back, Oprah said to realize that Ellen was never truly in her corner, but an opportunist who played the game and would bend whatever it took to stay on top. Girl, there are clearly a lot of skeletons in Ellen's closet, and it makes so much sense that Oprah seems to know about all of them. They've both been in the game for a long time and run in similar circles. If anyone is going to know about Ellen, it'll be Oprah. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Oprah exposing all of Ellen DeGeneres' hidden crimes? And do you really think Ellen has done all the things she's been accused of? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.